Hello students, I hope you all are fine at your home and you are enjoying your studies. Last time we already discussed about the different factors: overpopulation, underpopulation, factor affecting the overpopulation, underpopulation. But today I am going to explain you about the factors affecting population, which are the main factors of which affect the population, the chapter which we are doing. Okay. Basically, the population is, it means the human beings. Human beings are available everywhere. Either it is mountains, plateaus, plains, river valleys, river bank, ocean coasts, wherever, everywhere, the human beings are available. It means population is available, but their distribution is different. Okay, now see the way in which people are spread across the earth's surface. The way by which the peoples are spread across the earth's surface, known as pattern of population. Yes, the pattern of population is different. Maybe some place they very high population, maybe some place very low population with the underpopulation or either overpopulation, or maybe some place the population is moderate. It means not too much high, not too much less. Okay, more than 90% of the world's population lives in the about 10% of the land surface. I think you clear or not clear, let me clear you. Maybe if this is the earth, 90% population is limited in only 10% earth's surface. It means you can understand why, because some factors. What are the factors we are discussing today? What are these factors? Okay, basically there are two factors. Now I hope it is clear. 90% population is having near about 10% area. Okay, basically there are two factors: physical factor and the cultural factors. Out of this cultural and physical factors, the physical factor is main. It plays a vital role, it plays main role, because the terrain, topography, climate, the place, these so many things are there. Okay, the people can adjust by their behavior, but for this physical environment they are not able to sustain their life. So that's why this is the main factors. Now today, first of all we start the first factor, which is climate. What is it? Climate. Climate influence agriculture, human efficiency, natural vegetations, even industrial developments. How? We can understand the climate influence agriculture. Why? Because if the good rain, the agriculture is good. If the place, if there is a hilly region, not good for agriculture, the plain area. So it means the climate, climate is dependent on the agriculture, human efficiency. If there is a high area, if the rainfall is very less, so there are also climatic conditions. If there is very cold area, so the human efficiency is decreasing. The peoples cannot survive properly, they cannot work easily in very extreme condition. Natural vegetations, the vegetation is also available, because according to the climate, what kind of climate, I think you already studied different types of vegetations. Okay, which is completely based on the climate. And the industrial development, obviously, if the climatic condition is favorable, then only industrial development is there. By these 2 points you can easily understand why this climate, people cannot survive in the extreme conditions, either very hot, either very cold. Either just like the hot is the example of the Sahara desert. In the Sahara desert, the life is very difficult. The people cannot survive very life very easily. So that's why population is very small or less. Same like that, the cold area like Arctic region. What is the Arctic region? This is the earth surface, this Arctic region. Okay, here it is the Canada region, Iceland, and there is also one place here, it is the Antarctica. Okay, so Antarctica is completely uninhabited. There is no peoples are living. Only the laboratories, the observatories where scientists are examining something. So this Arctic region is also very extreme, very cold. So that's why the population is very less. So because of this extreme condition, either hot, either cold, the population is very less. And next one, it is the moderate. Moderate, it means it is in the central region where the sunlight is, I already explained last time, this area The population is moderate. Why? Because the climatic condition is very favorable, not too much hot, not too much cold, rain evenly distributed. So that's why these two, by these 2 points you can easily remember how this climate is influencing. I hope it is clear. Now we move towards the second point. Now second one, it is the topography or the landforms. What is this topography or landform? Basically, generally, the landform, it means already we have covered the whole chapter. Different landform, mountains, plateaus, the land area, either it is very low, either it is very high, or either on the plain area. Okay, so because of this topography or the landform, either mountains, plateaus, or plains, what are the problems? In the mountain, just like in our India, there are some hilly regions in the Himalaya mountain. Basically, it is in northeastern part, which are called the Seven Sisters. In the Seven Sisters, the way of living or the surviving of life is very difficult because the terrain, the topography is very uneven, very hilly. So that's why the construction of houses, transportation, many problems are there. So that's why the topography, the landform is very important factor. Same like on the plateaus, but the plain, just like the Ganga plain, Ganga Brahmaputra plain, or even in the five rivers, which is in Punjab and Haryana, the population is very high. Why? Because it is on the plain area. So this topography is a main factor for the population distribution. So second point, it is the topography or the land forms. Now come on the next point, it is the soil. You know very well, because the soil is important for agriculture. We know the agriculture. Why agriculture? Because we are getting food from the agriculture. If we are not having enough food to live, no one can survive. And we all are living for what? Most of the peoples are for the food. Okay, but the food is very necessary, just like the air and water, same like the soil, same like the food is very important, and the food is completely dependent on the soil. If there is a good quality of soil, so agriculture is good, just like the Ganga Brahmaputra basin or the river Nile valley, which is in Egypt. Okay, so in that place the soil is very fertile. If the soil is fertile, agriculture is very good. If the agriculture is good, obviously their economy is good, their availability of food and all the things are good. If the all the things are good, obviously people's willingly to live in that particular area. So second factor, the third factor, it is the soil. Now come on the fourth point, it is water. We know very well, same like the food, we cannot survive, we cannot live without water. Okay, because for every living beings, either it is plant, animal or human beings, the water is must, not only for the living as well as for the all the purposes, either it is household work, either it is industry, either it is agriculture, whatever you want, the water is must. Just like for the agriculture, what is required? Obviously water. For the industry, what is required? Water. So for any factor, for anything, the water is the main factor also, because without water the peoples cannot grow, because the water is also helpful in all the things. And obviously you know very well, the most of the civilizations are established on a river, near to river or bank of river, just like the Harappa civilization, which is near the bank of Indus Valley, okay, on the river of Indus. If I'm talking about the Egyptian civilization, it is on the river of Nile. If I'm talking about the uh, Chinese civilization, if I'm talking about any civilization, in the oldest civilization, the most of the civilizations are established near to the water bodies. You know very well. I think you have already studied in the history part. Next one, it is the availability of resources. What is the availability of resources? Availability of resources means whatever we are using, just like the minings. I am giving two examples. There is one area, it is called the Ruhr, which is in Germany, and another one, it is the Chota Nagpur Plateau, which is in India. So these both places are very rich in minerals, coal, iron. That's why what will happen? Obviously, if resources are enough, definitely industries are established. If industries established, definitely the peoples are getting work. If they are getting work, the economy will increase. If the economy will increase, definitely country will prosper. Okay, so that's why these all are interlinked. So whenever or wherever the availability of resources is good, so just like one more example, there are five lakes. You can consider this example for both, for this water as well as this availability of resources. Five rivers in America, okay, United States of America, there are five lakes area where the highest industrial area is established. Why highest established? Because availability of water as well as availability of resources. Okay, I hope it is clear. You can use this example for writing answers, so it is very easy for understanding as well as learning. Now, come on the next point. It is the size of the country. What is the size of the country? Just like if there is a country, this is size, in one other country, it is that is size. If population is 100 here, okay, and population is 100 here. If population will increase here, it becomes 200. So I think not that much affected. But if 100 population is increased same as here, what will happen? It becomes overpopulated. So I hope you can understand. Just like I'm giving example of China. China and India, just like this is China and it is the India. We are having the both equally populated area. Maybe it is 1.35 or India is having 1.21. Okay, but we are in the level of overpopulated, but China still is not. Why? Because it is having a more area than us. So this size of country is also a factor for the population, because if they are having enough area, definitely people can live very easily. The resources are enough. They can construct their houses. They do agriculture work, industries work, whatever they can, because they are having enough space. Just like I am giving example for your house. If there are two or maybe there are four members in your house and your house is a three-story building, what will happen? You can live easily. Even two guests will come, there is no problem. Either 10 guests will come, there is no problem, because you can evenly distribute it. Just like nowadays now you are four members. If 10 guests will come, how many you are? 16. So 4 you can live very easy. Or either 5 or either 6 1 6 6 or 12 6 3 18, near about 6 is 5 you can distribute equally in 3-story. But if you are four members and you are living in one room, if you are living in one room and immediately 10 guests will come, what will happen? I think you can imagine. By this example, I think it is very clear. Okay, now come on the next factor. It is the socio-economic factor. What is the socio-economic factor? Socio, it means socially we are having so many faiths, beliefs. Okay, and economic, you know very well. So there are cultural, social, and political beliefs. They are different. Just like India well known for its culture, its heritage, its social, its political. Okay, so these all are culture. It means if the peoples are living different culture, only the India is country where the different peoples live very easily. But in different countries, they are having very dispute. Even we are also having some dispute, but not that much. We are managing. Even so many Western countries learn from India how we are lovingly live in India. We are having different culture habits, different languages, different food habits, different speaking, different. There's so many things are different. The religion different, but still we are living evenly. We are still living lovingly. Why? Because this is social. But in some countries, if maybe there are some same religion, if they are same religion, but they are they're having different faith, what will happen? They fight among themselves, and that's why the social is disturbing, the political is disturbing, definitely so many problems. Second one, it is the economy. It means, you know, where there is enough economic advancements, it means industries are there, technology is there. If they are having enough resources, if they are having enough we can say that enough amount of the things by which they can grow their economy, definitely if the socio-economic is good, definitely the population is high. If it is not good, if they are not having industries, if they are not getting job, if they are not having job, definitely they will what? Decreasing their economy, because it directly affects on the economy of country, and definitely the population is decreasing. People are migrating from one country to another. The last, not least, the last one, it is the geographical location. What is this geographical location? You know that there are some reasons where geographical location is good for all the factors. Just like I'm giving an example of Mumbai. Okay, if Mumbai is on the coastal area, so it can access by any means, either by the aeroplane, either by the water body, either by the land. So that's why it is called a geographical location. So there are some countries which are on very good location, by which they can trade, they can commerce with different countries very easily. Their topography is very good. I'm only one example of the Mumbai, but Mumbai, Kolkata also, okay, but you can consider country also, because some countries are also, you know, very good, just like Switzerland. They are on very good, either they are not having the excess of sea, but there are some countries, they are having very geographical location. It means the temperature, the climate is moderate, they are access having the different things. So by these all factors you can easily write this answer. Okay, so I hope it is very clear what is this chapter, what is these factors affecting the population. Please do read once again. Only you remember the points. It is very easy to learn, it is very easy to remember, and I hope in exam it is very easy to write. Thank you so much. Next time we will meet.